stop for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Don't let that team stand in the way. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham record for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3. Yes!
This is the Buckeye Show.
Presented by Schottenstein Roofing. For top quality and a price match guarantee, visit SchottensteinRoofing.com.
I almost made the rookie mistake and jumped the sponsor tag, but I didn't do it. I caught myself.
That's called being a pro. Being a vet.
I think it's called lucky, but
you was about to.
I was
went
like,
off, and you was like, ah.
We'll just pull those words right back real fast. Good evening, everyone. Welcome into a week-ending edition of the Buckeye Show. And again, for Timmy Hall, I am Ryan Baker. Across from me, you heard his voice there, one Tyvis Powell. And on the other side, you heard him on the update, Bodie Wells hanging out with us. Glad that you were here tonight, Tyvis. I've got a bone to pick with you already, and this just happened a minute ago.
What? This is a first. Nobody ever actually has a bone.
Well, I have a bone to pick with you.
Well, speak
because you said my Reds cannot beat the Orioles tonight.
They're not going to win tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight.
They can win tonight.
Anybody can win.
Hunter Green is on the mound, firing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs tonight at the Orioles.
Okay, that's you got something down on that.
I might have a single game something in there, but
okay, that's okay. You know what? I'm rooting for y'all. I hope that you do. I hope that y'all do.
I would not say that about your Guardians.
Oh, I mean, we're playing the Angels. Mike Trout's out. Tanner Bybee's on the mound.
Tanner Bybee has been good with the only Indians or Guardians pitcher that's really been good this year.
And it's unbelievable because, and this is funny that we talking about this because historically the past few years it's literally been the opposite. The pitching has been outstanding, but the hitting has been terrible. Now it's the hitting is unbelievable, but the pitching is up and down. I won't call it terrible. It's up and down. We gotta figure that out.
Bullpen has been good for the Guardians.
Bullpen is getting worn out.
Yeah, a little bit.
But Clase is amazing.
He's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Two of the best closers in all of baseball reside in the state of Ohio, and I like that for both of us. So the Reds, they're actually supposed to get underway here in about 5 minutes, but it looks like that has been delayed because of some weather down in Cincinnati. So maybe a little delay here to see if my Reds can pull it off against the Orioles, even though you have no faith.
It's going to ice the Orioles out. That's Timmy Hall's Orioles.
Mm-hmm. And Timmy Hall on the golf course today out on the left coast. Yeah. He was so excited about the Buckeye basketball news that he couldn't help himself. He's on the golf course in California, and he's tweeting about Ohio State basketball. And in case you haven't heard the news, Ohio State got a big addition out of the transfer portal today when Sean Stewart was going to be a sophomore forward. He played his freshman year at Duke. He has committed to Jake Diebler and the Buckeyes. 6'9", Tyvis, 230 pounds, very athletic. He broke a Duke record. Zion Williamson had the record at Duke of the biggest standing vertical jump. It was 35 inches of Duke players ever. Sean Stewart beat it last year as a freshman with a 36-inch vertical jump. This guy is he's athletic. He was a 5-star in the 2023 class. He was a McDonald's All-American. The potential with Sean Stewart is through the roof.
So you're saying that I need to get the popcorn ready because I can see Bruce coming down or Michi driving the lane and then oopsie daisy, throw up the oop and boom.
What was one of the things we heard people complaining about when Felix Okpara left? There was a couple things.
He wasn't an offensive guy.
No, but one was the defense. How are we going to replace that defense?
Blocks, yes.
Sean Stewart, whether he's as good blocking shots as Okpara is or not, that's debatable, but he's a guy that can guard just about every position on the floor. He's so athletic, and he's so big, and he's so strong. His dad even said there might be a learning curve with him still on the offensive end of the floor, but he said defensively he can come in and contribute right now.
But, I mean, you need that. You need guys because, obviously, this is going to be one of those situations where teams love to try to find a mismatch. And if you got a guy who can check guards, forwards, and bigs, like that's you know, if they switch, okay, that's fine. Like, we're still good to go. There's no panic there. So that's nice from that ability for sure. And if he jumps out the gym, like you say, he could contribute offensively for sure. And
that was the other thing is people were like, oh, man, we love that at the end of the year, those lobs to Felix. How are we going to replace that? Well, you just replaced it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think anybody – you know what I love about this signing even more? I had a hard time. A lot of people thought we would get this, but I had a hard time envisioning Felix and Aaron Bradshaw on the court at the same time.
I did too.
Not with this.
The Twin Towers.
Because Sean Stewart can be a perfect 4. He's like a prototypical NBA 4.
Whoa. What is his shooting percentage?
It's not there yet, but here's the thing.
Okay.
And
that's a big part. What do you mean? That's if you want to run two bigs, one of the bigs have to have the ability to space out and shoot.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So he shot 55% from the floor last year. He did not attempt 1 3-pointer, but he also, at Duke, with that loaded roster Duke had, he only played 8 minutes a game last year.
Okay.
So with more time, maybe we'll see that part of his game develop even more. Remember, this kid's just a sophomore. He has 3 years of eligibility left. So
how many kids utilize their entire eligibility?
I get that. I understand. But,
okay.
You know, he's got time to grow here, even if you only get 2 years of him from Ohio State. To that standpoint, he could still become a totally different player from what he was last year at Duke.
To be honest with you, if he does develop an outside shot and he is really good defensively and he jumps out the gym, we won't be seeing him very long. We'll say that.
So a lot of people weren't excited about Sean Stewart when they were talking about him because of the numbers last year. He averaged 2.6 points a game. He averaged 3.2 rebounds. But again, he only saw 8.3 minutes a game last night because we know that Duke team made it to the Elite Eight. They were loaded. Kyle Filipowski. They had a bunch of guys that are off to the NBA. Our friends over at 11 Warriors, they extrapolated those numbers out to if they were 40 minutes. So per 40 minutes, he would average 12.7 points and 15.3 rebounds a game. I think people would take that. They were like, oh, Felix, he had 6.5 rebounds a game. If this guy gets Felix minutes, he's going to be pushing double figures possibly for rebounds a game.
You were the biggest one that said that when Felix left, you weren't blinking an eye because you was like, oh, his production, yes, his blocks was good, but outside of that, he was just okay. And now that's why you're comfortable with Aaron and Sean coming in there because you're like, oh, we could get that same production. Maybe defensively it might be a challenge, but like I say, Aaron, you're 7-1. Like you're going, just you being 7-1 and putting your hands up is going to alter shots.
And what I like about Aaron Bradshaw and Sean Stewart, both. Felix Okparo didn't have a lot of meat on his bones.
No, he
wasn't
didn't.
super strong in the paint. He was great at getting up, getting vertical. He was great at blocking shots. Both of these guys have some size to them, so I don't think they're guys that are going to get pushed around at all.
Well, I just like to say that it's been great to see Ohio State's athletics, football and basketball, pretty much going all in on trying to make this program better. You know, we saw football and what they did, and now you're seeing basketball take that same approach to where, you know, they're going out and, you know, through collectives, they're doing the foundations, doing a great job of getting and grooming up that basketball program and helping out with the NIL deals there and getting some of these guys on campus. So it's nice to see that basketball and football really matters, and they want to see them a premier program in their sport.
I feel like this team, however you break it down, a lot of people have been saying a starting 5 now of Bradshaw, Stewart, Micah Parrish, Bruce, and Michi. Then you would have Evan Mahaffey, Devin Royal, the freshman, you know, coming off the bench, those guys. And they still have one spot available. We'll talk about that here in a moment. They're starting to get excited about this team and the potential. I think this is a team right now, and there's still questions about shooting the basketball. I think this team is a team right now that is probably a top 25 team, maybe towards the end of the top 25, but I think they're a top 25 team. Are they a team that can challenge for the Big Ten championship? I don't know about that yet, but I think they're right there in that top 5, the edge of the top 5 for the Big Ten, at least right now.
I think that I think that the thing about the Buckeyes is that even though their season hasn't been great, they always do compete really well against the top teams in the Big Ten. I mean, they beat Purdue. Last year, they went toe-to-toe with Purdue in the Big Ten championship, and that was impressive there. And they didn't even have everything together. Everything was kind of falling apart. But when they put it together, this team is good enough to compete with anybody. And I think that that's going to be the challenge. Now that you're going out and getting all these nice pieces, Jake Diebler has to do a great job of figuring out how these guys work together, what pieces go with what. And if they can figure that out rather sooner than later, then they won't have to be looking at the late season push to make the tournaments and stuff like that. I think they can be a team that could really do well and do some really good things in the Big Ten and potentially win the Big Ten championship. Like I say, even on a down year, they was very impressive and almost got to the Big Ten championship game. If they can do that with a down year, if they can put it together with all the talent that they have now, why couldn't they win the Big Ten?
Exactly. So Ohio State has one roster spot left now.
Tyvis Powell.
You and I were talking about this. We would like to see them go get a shooter. It kind of sounds like...
You don't want Bronny James?
No, never wanted Bronny James. But it kind of sounds like they're going to go the route of another big. It kind of sounds like they have enough faith in their wing and their guard players. A couple guys that they have been known to have reached out to here are 6'10" Bellarmine's senior forward Langdon Hatton. He scored 10.1 points a game last year and 7.1 rebounds. He shot 50.9% from the field, 33% from 3. Another player is 7-foot sophomore Noah Boyd. He's a junior college prospect that had committed to Baylor but decommitted last Friday. In junior college last year, he averaged 12.6 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, and 1 block a game. Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Creighton are other teams that are in on him. Then if they don't totally go the big route, they could get another 3-4 type player. Okay. Elijah Saunders of San Diego State. He's a junior forward, 6'8". He's another guy that could possibly be coming, maybe joining his teammate Micah Parrish there.
And what's his numbers? Do you have those?
I don't have any numbers on him right now.
I like the size. I do like, when you go big, because you got 2 small guards. So you got to make up for it with the 3, 4, and 5 because you don't want to be totally small and have to depend on one big man. You want everybody to be able to contribute, alter shots by their length, and be able to box out and get rebounds. So I'm not opposed to going with much bigger lineups with 3, 4s, and 5, 6'8", 6'9", and stuff like that. They just got to be able to shoot. Like, that's the only thing. I think that you'll have an aggressive. Bruce will have to take the next step in his game and be more of a big time scorer in those closing minutes. Michi, we already know that he's going to go for his. But I think that whoever that third spot is, or that they decide to go out and get, if it is a small 4, it has to be the shooting. That's literally the only thing that I feel like this team is missing. A guy, because Jamison Battle was perfect for it last year. At big moments, he made the threes that you need, and it changed games. I don't know if we have that guy on the roster currently, and that kind of scares me a little bit because this is a shooting game nowadays.
You do know we don't have that guy on the roster currently.
No, because Michael Parrish could be a shooter. Could be a great shooter. Maybe.
He's a career 32% three-point shooter, so we will see. Last year was a down year for him, though. He had averaged 35 his first 3 years, 29% last year. We will talk more with Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts coming up at the bottom of the hour about this Ohio State basketball team and this edition of Sean Stewart. The guys over at 11 Warriors broke down the Ohio State football roster now that the transfer portal has closed. Tyvis and I, we're going to go through that next and let you know what we see and where they might need to make additions possibly. It's the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mock Crew is a part of our winning team. The Libman Mock Crew makes sure the hardwood is safe and clean for the players every game at the Schottenstein Center. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com. Libman, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Did the pandemic eliminate quality customer service? Well, many places it did, but not here at Heartland Bank. Imagine getting top quality service and good advice as well to help you down life's road. It's community banking, and it's alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Smith, Senior Vice President, Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Bishop and Friends.
You're telling me Izzo's really listening to the Jackson 5?
He's wearing headphones into the arena. Oh, baby, give me one more chance.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Ohio's public schools are safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive. No exceptions. Thanks to the nearly 120,000 public school educators in the Ohio Education Association. We are dedicated professionals who deserve respect, a living wage, and a seat at the table when decisions are made. And we're using our united voice to demand the supports and resources our students need to succeed. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to substantial returns and increased personal enjoyment. Hiring a certified arborist can help care for your trees and add considerable value to your property. Inspections by Ohio ISA certified arborists can often find and mitigate tree defects before they fail. Only professionals with specialized knowledge and training are properly equipped to provide appropriate care. To find an arborist, visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens of your latest forecast. More showers as we continue into this evening and into the overnight hours, possibly a rumble of thunder in there as well. Temperatures will fall into the low 60s overnight. We'll be back up into the 70s for Saturday with shower and storm chances still around. Those become more widespread by Saturday afternoon and into Saturday night. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Block O on the radio. This is the Buckeye Show.
Welcome back in, Friday edition of the Buckeye Show. Hope everybody's cruising into the weekend. Ryan Baker in for Timmy Hall. Tyvis Powell to my right. One Bodie Wells on the other side of the glass working hard. Tyvis, it's pretty amazing to me with all the talent that this Ohio State roster for football this coming season has on it, that the Buckeyes only lost 6 players to the transfer portal here in this spring window. And out of those 6 players, I don't think any of those, except for maybe Dallin Hayden, was going to make a difference on the field this year.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks to that brotherhood that they talk about. And like when I was thinking about it, you know, some of the guys that stay, it's like they're on that fence. It's like some of them can probably end the too deep in the rotation. A lot of the guys that you thought would maybe leave, I think that plays a part of it. Like you're only one injury away. One injury, boom, you probably in there. So that plays a part in it too. This has been you've been here and you've grown relationships with these guys and these coaches. It's like it's not easy to always just walk away, like because it's like I'm leaving my brother, my teammate, the guy that I learned that I've grew to love. And then you look at it like from an experience to where the roster is so loaded and his team is so talented and there's so many expectations that if you walk away, like you might be potentially walking away from a national championship. Like that, where can you say that at? And I think on top of that, now that the season is longer with another game or another couple of games added, like I say, your possibility of playing in those games goes up. So I think that even if you wanted to test it, a lot of people would think to themselves like, maybe I won't get the experience or the playing time that I think. Maybe I ain't as good as I thought I was. Maybe if I leave Ohio State, I don't really want to go to Kent State or something like that. I want to go to another Power 4 school. So maybe they weren't getting the offers or they didn't hear that they would get the offers that they thought they would have. So they said, you know what, let me just run it back here, develop myself some more, and then we'll revisit it, after the season and see where things lie.
So the Ohio State roster currently sits at 80 scholarship players. You can have 85. Now, the transfer portal window has closed. That means no one can enter it right now. But there are still players in the portal that Ohio State could possibly add. Now, it's been reported that Ohio State has been in contact with Michigan State defensive tackle Derek Harmon, also Michigan State safety Jaden Mangum, Sacramento State safety Cameron Broussard, and Texas A&M safety Jacoby Matthews. Ohio State has also been looking for offensive linemen, but in the portal, there's not really offensive linemen worthy of Ohio State, at that caliber.
Because they wouldn't be in the portal if they were.
And I don't think Ohio State is just looking for depth pieces on the offensive line. They're either looking for a guy that can come in and start at that right guard position or a guy that can battle Luke Montgomery and Tegra Shabola as that utility offensive lineman. So let's go ahead and look at the roster on the offensive side of the ball. We'll do the defensive side in the second hour. The offensive side of the ball, quarterbacks, 5 of them. Will Howard, Devin Brown, Lincoln Keenholz, Julian Say, and Aaron Nolan. The question now is, we know what we have with Will Howard in the fact that he's played in a Big 12 championship game. He's been all Big 12 second team. You know what you've got there. The only question is, can one of these other guys, these younger guys, step up and beat him and take this team to the next level?
Well, I think that's interesting that you put it that way because when you look at it, Will Howard is the only one with experience. He's the only one that's played a season. He's the only one that's played in big games. Devin Brown had the opportunity to do the Cotton Bowl, but he got hurt, so obviously we haven't seen him. Then we got to see him in spurts over the season and stuff like that, so he will be second with experience. But how will he handle the full season? The rest of them, you don't know. Lincoln, obviously he got to play in the Cotton Bowl, but it was kind of skewed because the offensive line wasn't really protecting him well, and it just wasn't a good performance. And then you got 2 freshmen that just was in high school last year. So when you look at that position, obviously everybody says Will Howard is favored to win, and if he does win, they'll be fine. I think he can run the ball, he can throw the ball, they'll be fine in that position. But if they had a season to where we won it all, I'm confident that they can get production out of all 5 of the quarterbacks.
At the running back spot, you've only got 4 guys on scholarship: Travion Henderson, Quinshad Judkins. Of course, no question about those 2. They're 2 of the best running backs in the country. Then you've got 2 freshmen, James Peoples, Sam Williams-Dixon. Now, they both looked good, in the spring, but again, they're still freshmen. Then you also have T.C. Caffey, who is not on scholarship. He's a walk-on player. He's been here for a while. They raved about the spring he had, too. To me, this is an area where if I could add someone, a depth piece, I think I would, just because you have 2 freshmen there.
I don't think that's something to fret about. It's been freshmen that's come in and been very productive. I think that really comes down to your offensive line. If your offensive line is doing well, opening gaps, I think these freshmen are good enough to get there. I mean, we've heard that James Peoples been good, and even Sam Williams-Dixon had a good spring as well. So I'm confident in those. I think that position solely remains or relies on TreVeyon Henderson's health, because as you know, over this past couple of seasons, he's always gotten hurt. And if they can continue to go 1-2 with Quinshawn and TreVeyon, that's taking hits off of each other, and they both can be productive. Whoever's in there can still get it done. If one of them goes down, now we are relying on a freshman to come in there, which doesn't matter because Quinshawn or TreVeyon will take the majority of those reps, so we'll be fine. But it'll give the opportunity of a younger guy who I think a lot of people think highly of, James People and Sam. I think they can still get in there and get it done. But like I say, it ultimately comes down to the offensive line. I'm
going to group the wide receivers and the tight ends here together for one reason. They've got 8 scholarship wide receivers: Emeka, Jaden Ballard, Kojo Antwi, Brandon Ennis, Carnell Tate, Bryson Rogers, Jeremiah Smith, Mylan Graham. No worries there. You've also got David Adolph, who we know as a walk-on got some time last year, played a lot on special teams. And then we saw Brennan Schramm get a receiving touchdown in the spring game. The tight ends, you've got 6: G. Scott, Will Kazmarek, Bennett Christian, Jelani Thurman, Max LeBlanc, and then Damarian Witten. The receivers of 8, I think you'd like to have more than that, but I actually think it's 9 because I'm big on Damarian Witten. Yeah. He's not here yet. He's obviously finishing up high school up at Cleveland Glenville. There's no way, to me, he's a tight end this year. He'll be in that receiver room this year.
Is he slim?
He's 6'4", 215. He's a big dude.
But he's slim. 215 is slim.
But I think he's a receiver. I think he's good enough. I love this guy.
He's a flex tight end. If he's going to play tight end, it would be more flex until he get that body by Marotti, until Coach Mick can bulk him up a little bit. I think he'd be better off as a flex tight end, meaning that he's removed from the line of scrimmage in a wide receiver stance. But that would just tell you it's an obvious passing down.
And then on the offensive line, you've got 16 scholarship guys. Of course, 4 or 5 of those are freshmen. But again, on the offensive line, I don't think you bring anyone in here unless they're going to challenge for a starting spot.
Why? What spot to you is available?
The right guard is the position that seems to be the one.
I still think it's either going to be Carson or Seth. I think whoever don't win play center is probably going to play right guard.
So I don't think you're bringing in anything there. So to me, on the offensive side of the ball, the only position I may bring someone in at would be running back, just for a depth piece. That's to me.
I mean, that's fine. I think that they're pretty good all over. I don't think they really need to be looking to add anybody. I think that if it is James or Sam, I think they can still get you through a season.
We'll break down the defense coming up in the second hour. We'll get back to the Hoops Talks next. Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts and 24/7 Sports will join us. That's next on the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
If you're starting your day any other way, you're doing it wrong. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest the Your Cabana side. Slade hot yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Self-care alert, new Tropic Bowls are here. Try one of our 4 flavors like our new acai bowl. Your vacay is a Tropic Bowl away.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Tracy, over to you for weather.
The sun must be shining, Dave, because the 7 for 7 sale is back at Meijer. Mix or match hundreds of items like extra large avocados and mangoes, Kraft macaroni and cheese, and Glass O vitamin water. Pick any 7 for just $7. There's a strong chance of saving with the same quality Meijer deals in-store or online. Back to you, Dave.
Sounds great, Tracy.
Deals so good, you've just got to talk about them. Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
New membership pricing just dropped at Take 5 Car Wash, and you're not going to believe it. Join Take 5 Unlimited for the price of just one wash per month and wash again and again and again and again. Endless washes for the price of just one wash. Join Take 5 Unlimited today.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we'll chat with Memorial Tournament honoree, World Golf Hall of Famer Julie Inkster, plus some tech talk with Rod Cook from Titleist.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick, presented by X-Golf, Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to Upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Bike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking Upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown.
Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at Upstart.com today. That's Upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource. Proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The show where we pay people extra to host with Timmy Hall. This is the Buckeye Show.
Welcome back in. Buckeye Show. Ryan Baker in for Timmy Hall. Joined by Tyvis Powell. And now we're going to head out on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and bring in our friend from Bucknuts and 24/7 Sports, Steve Helwagen. Talk a little OSU hoops. Steve, thanks a lot for joining us. Big addition for Ohio State today as they pick up Sean Stewart, the transfer from Duke, out of the transfer portal. What does Sean Stewart bring to Jake Diebler's basketball team?
Well, I think he helps solidify some things there in the paint. I mean, they brought in Aaron Bradshaw, the McDonald's All-American from Kentucky, and it wasn't long after that happened that Felix Okpara, he'd been the starter there this past year. His nose got kind of bent out of shape, and he entered the transfer portal, and that created a need suddenly that Ohio State needed another big man. And they scoured and they worked, and, they had several guys come through on visits and different things. And, ultimately they found a good fit with Sean Stewart, 6'9", 227-pound forward from Duke. This is a guy who was ranked number 22 overall in the country a year ago from Montverde Academy, where they play all the high-powered high school games, the borderline college games that those prep schools play. He was part of that culture, up until last year. He went to Duke. And obviously at Duke, they had a guy by the name of Kyle Filipowski, who was a really good player. And then Mark Mitchell, who was a veteran, and Ryan Kelly, who was a veteran. So he didn't get many minutes, only about 8 minutes a game. Didn't get a chance to make his mark there. And he was part of a mass exodus at Duke after the season ended. John Shire, his roster basically emptied out on him. And kind of like Kentucky, these two blue blood programs are trying to reload here at the 11th hour, trying to scour the portal for anything they can get to put a roster together. But to me, Stewart is a guy that comes in, can play at power forward. He could play at center. I don't think you can pigeonhole him into one thing that he does or doesn't do. He's very athletic. They said he set a vertical leap record at the Duke basketball program, breaking a record set by Zion Williamson. So that's pretty good. But kind of a raw player, but I think given time and the opportunity to play at Ohio State, he's a guy that's going to do a lot of good things, I think, for the Buckeyes.
Steve, when you look at this Ohio State basketball team, they've been able to get some pretty good players out of the portal. What makes Ohio State attractive to these portal kids?
Well, I think that there's a lot to it. First of all, they play in big-time games against big-time opponents. I mean, you go back, they play North Carolina, Kentucky, UCLA in that CBS game every year. They're going to open the season on national TV against Texas. They're on Fox quite a bit. Every game that Ohio State plays is either on Fox or FS1 or Big Ten Network. I mean, and now they've added a few streaming games as well. But, anybody in the country can see them play. So if you've got family, friends who want to see you play, you come to a place like Ohio State because every game is on national TV pretty much. Or it's streaming, which anybody, that plunks down the $6 or whatever it is can get those games too. So first of all, it's exposure. Secondly, you look at what, kids who know where to go. And Malachi Branham and Bryce Sensabaugh coming to Ohio State and going one and done to the NBA in the first round, I think that's impressed some people as well. So there's a lot of good things going on at Ohio State. Even if the wins haven't been there, people see the style of play. And really the surge that they made at the end of the season, there's excitement there's buzz surrounding Ohio State basketball. So I think that's what people want to be a part of.
Talking with Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts and 24/7 Sports on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Steve, Ohio State still has one more roster spot open. They could use another big. They could use someone that could knock down the three. Where do you think they go next to fill that?
Well, it is kind of weird to say this in this transient transfer portal era where guys are coming and going, but you really got to find somebody who's a good cultural fit because you've got a roster right now. Gary Parrish from CBS has Ohio State number 15 in the country going into the season. Now, obviously, some of that's due, as we touched on, Kentucky and Duke are completely off the map right now because they don't have any players. So once they've assembled their rosters, maybe things will be shaken up a little bit and things will change. But as of now, Ohio State is viewed as a team that could make some noise and get back the NCAA tournament next year. So you don't want to put somebody in there who doesn't fit the culture. So they're going to look for, I think, probably just the best player available who fits the culture. I think a three-point shooter would be advantageous for them. I don't know that there's anybody on this roster who is somebody that would scare opponents as a three-point shooter like Jamison Battle did this past year. I think that's maybe something that's missing, but at every position they seem to be pretty well set. Maybe a backup big man, as you said. I guess I just default back to get the best player and the best person you can get to round this thing out, and get it together and spend the summer putting a team together.
Steve, when you look at the decision that Ohio State made to keep Jake Diebler instead of, going to get maybe a Dusty May or something like that, do you think that was the right decision?
Well, Tyvis, this has been debated quite a bit. And I think, people were really hot on Jake Diebler when he's beating Purdue and he goes on the road and he beats Michigan State. I mean, the coaches that you lined up that he beat during that stretch have combined for like 2,000 wins or something stupid, And I mean, Painter and Izzo are most certainly going to be in the Hall of Fame, and then whoever else. But, I look at it, and obviously he caught lightning in a bottle for about 6 weeks, and he had everybody excited again about Ohio State basketball. Did they make a knee-jerk reaction and give him the job despite falling short of the NCAA tournament, you could say that they did. I mean, and, you know, that's fine. But he's a young guy, late 30s, and he's bringing energy and passion to this job and this university. And he's assembled a good staff of coaches around him. And to me, everything seems to be going the right direction. 2 McDonald's All-Americans, Michi Johnson, who went away for 2 years and proved himself at South Carolina. Plus, they're getting his cousin, Marcus Johnson, 2026. Mark that name down. He's one of the top guards in the country in the current, I guess, what year would that be? Sophomore class, going to be juniors this coming year. So, and he's committed to the Buckeyes. Won't come till 2026. But, so, yeah, on all these counts, I just look at it and I say, could they have gotten Dusty May? Could this have been a different story? Because he's done a nice bang-up job at Michigan assembling a roster. Could that have been Ohio State? Could have been. But, you know, they opted to stay with the known quantity with Jake Diebler, and I think so far so good on that.
Marcus Johnson, definitely a good get. His dad, Sonny, a former Mr. Ohio basketball as well. Steve, we'll get you out of here on this one. And it almost took me aback there for a second when you talked about the one preseason top 25 that had Ohio State 15. I guess I just didn't expect anybody to have them that high. Right now, in your opinion, is this a team that can challenge for a Big Ten championship next year?
Well, that's a great question. And again, until all these rosters get settled, you know, who comes out of the transfer portal with a winner, you know, with whatever. I'll tell you this, guy that no one is talking about out of this portal is Micah Parrish, San Diego State wing. He was injured this past season playing for San Diego State and didn't shoot like he's capable of shooting. He was like a 38% three-point shooter prior to that, and they tell me he's a dog. He's a guy that will come in and fight you for rebounds, fight you defensively, and that's what this program has lacked, is that type A personality who is going to be a leader and draw the line and say, you know, this is not acceptable. We're going to play better defensively. We're going to rebound. We're going to, you know, do what we have to do to win games. And they haven't marked that line in the sand here for a long time. So I'm excited to hear that this is a guy, you know, this is a guy who played in the Final Four and the Sweet 16 the last 2 years at San Diego State. So don't sleep on him. He's a guy I think that can really help this program move up. And yes, I don't know that they're going to win the Big Ten this coming year. I would say that there's a good chance they could finish in the top 4 or 5 if everything comes together the way Diebler's kind of orchestrating it right now.
Definitely.
You need some young guys to step up. This kid Stewart, obviously, Bradshaw, obviously, completely untested the first year for those two guys. They got to play up to what they were thought of to be in high school.
And then, of course, the two young guys coming in already as freshmen, Junie Mobley and Colin White. Steve, thanks so much for spending part of your Friday with us. Really appreciate it. Love what you said about Micah Parrish there. It makes me feel better about that one.
Yep, there you go. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.
Steve Helwagen joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. You can check out his stuff over at Bucknuts and 24/7 Sports. On Fridays, we like to rank things. It's the Power 5 coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Since 1897, the Byers Auto family of dealerships has been serving Central Ohio's transportation needs. When we first opened our doors, our vehicles were fueled by oats and hay, required saddles, not seatbelts, and had shoes instead of tires. Over 120 years later, Byers Auto is still family-owned and operated. Our goal is to provide the best selection, price, and service in Central Ohio. And it's all on one website, buyersauto.com.
Come see why it's better to buy from Byers.
Byers Auto is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways.
Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit. Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy.
Join in as little as 5 seconds.
Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives.
It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
With spring ball behind us, we're officially gearing up for the most anticipated football season ever. Excited, nervous, terrified to your very core? Think of us as your emotional safe space. Always your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
At the end of every season, a coach evaluates his team. Just like at the end of winter, you should have your roof evaluated. Hi, I'm Bob McElligott for Schottenstein Roofing. Call the expert team at Schottenstein Roofing at 614-321-8888 or go to schottensteinroofing.com to get a free inspection of your roof. And if you need work done on it, don't forget, Schottenstein Roofing has unbeatable value and all of their work is backed for life. That in addition to interest-free financing options. Schottenstein Roofing, a proud partner of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Tri-State Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Truly, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Join your Franklin County Auditor's Office this Saturday for Shred Hunger, a free document shredding and e-recycling event. Documents and electronics will be safely recycled free of charge. The Auditor's Office is also encouraging donations of non-perishable foods and household items to benefit local charities. Shred Hunger, sponsored by the Ohio EPA, will be held Saturday, May 4th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Brobst Park in Canal Winchester. For more information, call Franklin County Auditor Michael Stenziano at 614-525-HOME. That's 614-525-4663.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Because there's nothing better to do on a Friday night, let's just rank 5 things. It's the Buckeye Show's Power 5.
Nothing like a good list to wrap up the week. I think we've got a couple good ones here for you on this Friday. Tyvis, you want to kick us off here?
Yes.
In the Power 5?
I will kick us off in the Power 5. I will talk about the top 5 places, fast food chains, to get a chicken sandwich because I've been eating chicken sandwiches lately. And I'm gonna start off with number 5. Number 5 I just had yesterday. I was using Cardell's Tesla, and as you know, if you use a Tesla, you got to charge it. Mm-hmm. And when you charge, it's not like the gas station where you brrr, and then go.
Got to sit there for a few minutes.
So so in this case, it was a McDonald's right across the street. So I went to Mickey D's and I got the McCrispy chicken sandwich. So that comes in at number 5. I got the Cajun bacon McCrispy sandwich.
Okay, so not just a regular McCrispy.
No.
Cajun bacon.
Yeah, it was delicious. But it comes in at number 5 on my list because it was a good sandwich.
Not that delicious to me.
It wasn't
on the list.
It wasn't to me better than the others. Now, number 4 is arguable with a lot of people. A lot of people argue this, but it's in my list, and this is how I personally feel. Number 4, the buffalo chicken sandwich from Arby's is unbelievably good.
I never had that.
I didn't think I have never been a big Arby's guy.
Okay.
Like one day my wife was like, let's get some Arby's. And I was like, sure. And I seen this buffalo chicken sandwich, and man, it's finger licking good. I know that's KFC, but this is finger licking good.
Arby's has a good fish sandwich as well.
Yeah,
when
it
they
does.
have it.
Yeah, yep. I mean, they have the meats, is what they say.
Oh, the meats.
Number 3, Wendy's. They have this. Everybody likes their spicy chicken sandwich. I'm more of the Asiago chicken ranch sandwich. It's delicious. You got to get it fried. It's so good. I got it when I was in college, and I made Cardell go get it, and it was so good that he got it, called me up, and told me how good the sandwich was. So I know
he ate your sandwich.
No, it wasn't my sandwich.
Okay.
He went to go get it because I had told him I was eating, and I was like, "This sandwich is really good. You should try it." And he got in his car, and he went to go get it, and he called me and was like, "Yeah, this sandwich is really good." So Asiago chicken ranch sandwich. Number 2. Popeyes. Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich is really good. I just had that like a week ago. My wife doesn't like it with pickles. I feel like if you don't get it with the pickles, it defeats the purpose. So, Popeyes. Number 1 is Chick-fil-A. It's just going to be Chick-fil-A. It's just undeniably good. Actually, I'm hungry just sitting here thinking about it. I'm a spicy deluxe guy. I know a lot of people are just regular spicy chicken sandwiches, but that spicy deluxe with that Chick-fil-A sauce on it, Baker, whew, man, hurt me.
So this is obviously your list there, and I haven't thought about chicken sandwiches, but the top 2 in mine, and I don't know how I'd rank them, the Wendy's spicy chicken, I enjoy that, and then the spicy chicken biscuit from Chick-fil-A and the breakfast. That's
that right there. I don't care what nobody say. That spicy chicken biscuit from Chick-fil-A is the best breakfast thing you can ever get. I don't care. Like over the McGriddle, McDuck, all of that. It is 10 times better than all of that. With the strawberry jelly, oh my God.
I don't think I could argue with you.
Oh my goodness.
Now, real quick, because you were talking about borrowing Cardell's Tesla.
Yeah.
Is that like if you borrow someone's car, you have to give it back with a full tank of gas? You have to give it back with a full charge?
No, I didn't give it back with a full charge because I took it to Cleveland when I did the show, and Ashland is like kind of the midway point. So obviously you had to use energy to get to him. So he got it back with like, if it's a 390 battery, he got it back with like 195.
Okay. I just didn't know what the.
But it charges him because it's not like when you plug it in, it's not like you pay for it. It goes off of whoever owns it account. So he paid for it. $20.
Oh, so you borrowed the car and then he pays for the charge. So with all the Ohio State basketball news today with Sean Stewart coming in, it got me thinking about, I didn't love this Ohio State basketball team last year.
Yeah, you told me.
And I'm starting to fall in love with this team a little bit. And it got me thinking about my favorite Ohio State basketball players of all time. So I'm going to start off at number 5. A lot of people don't like this guy because, unfortunately, he's the reason that we don't have the 99 Final Four banner anymore. But Boban Savovic, I loved number 21, shooting those threes. He was a key contributor to that 99 team off the bench. And then, he ended up being a starter at Ohio State, averaged in that final year for him 12 points a game on that team. He was just a guy that was solid, did everything. Just really like that guy. Number 4 on my list, Dennis Hopson.
Okay.
He was probably my first memories of Ohio State basketball were probably Dennis Hopson and Tony White and Jay Burson and those teams then. And Dennis Hopson, he was a stud at Ohio State, averaged 16.8 points a game for his career. In his senior year, 29 points a game. Played all 4 years because that's what they did back then. He was a consensus second-team All-American, a Big Ten Player of the Year, a first-team All-Big Ten, and all of those in 1987. Dennis Hopson was one of my favorites and one of my first memories of Ohio State basketball. Number 3, Another guy from that Ohio State 1999 Final Four team. He never got a lot of pub, wasn't the greatest player, but Jason Singleton. 6'6" wing, great defender, kind of did everything for that team. I was a big Jason Singleton fan. Only averaged 8.6 points a game in his career, but man, he was a glue guy on those teams. And if you remember, he was on those teams that went through some tough times before Michael Redd came in and Scooney Penn got here, and they had that run in 1999. Number 2, got his number retired up in the rafters over at the Shot. Evan Turner. I loved ET. He was a guy that was so smooth. I like Evan Turner to Chris Olave. You know, just guys that were so smooth on the field and kind of did everything well. May not have been the best at any one thing, but were so smooth and just did everything. And then number 1, it's my favorite sports team of all time, the early 90s Ohio State basketball, Jimmy Jackson. Another guy that's got his number retired in the rafters, 2-time consensus first-team All-American, 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year, 2-time first-team Big Ten Freshman of the Year, Parade All-American, 2-time Mr. Ohio basketball. Jimmy Jackson did everything. He made Ohio State basketball cool again, and we got the Jimmy Jackson Grays now, we call them, and that's the best Ohio State basketball uniform.
No. Greg Oden, Michael Redd,
Michael
Clark
Redd
Kellogg.
was close. Clark Kellogg before my time, so
Tyvis Powell.
He wasn't a basketball player.
I could have been.
Yeah, I've seen you out here in the Papa Shot. I don't think so. We're going to get back to the college football world. We're going to take a tour of the college football world with Bodie next. It's College Football Pulse, 97.1 The Fan.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. Herbert and the Skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Says who and or what? Those are the questions behind every eco guarantee. Other companies might promise same day this, guarantee that, and best in class every other thing. But just ask. Says who? Says some announcer guy or cartoon character? You really want to take their word on it? Why not get your guarantees from the founder and owner of the company, me? Then there's or what. Too often, there's no promise make right, or it's a meaningless waived service fee. ECO doesn't even charge service fees, and our or what is always real. Last summer, we gave 277 families a $1,500 discount on their AC system when we missed our same-day deadline. That's a real deal make right. I know, because I had to pay for it. We also delivered same-day replacement service and same-day repair for many hundreds of others, because Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians really will come through for you when you need us to. Says me, or we'll make it right.
At GetEco.com.
To get blindsided. That's why you need to know what's coming in Ohio Medicaid.
Championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Recent changes in Ohio Medicaid could impact you. If your information isn't up to date, you can lose your health insurance. Call the Ohio Department of Medicaid so you don't have to scramble to stay insured.
Call 800-324-8680. A public health message from CareSource.
That's what I call forward progress.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to Upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Bike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking Upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown.
Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at Upstart.com today. That's Upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Buddy Wells. In baseball, the Reds are back at home for the first of three against Baltimore this weekend. Tonight's game was supposed to start at 6:10, but they're currently in a weather delay. The Guardians are also back at home tonight as they host the Angels for the first of three this weekend. Tanner Bybee gets the start. First pitch is here shortly at 7:10. Two games in the NBA playoffs tonight. The Cavs are at the Magic. They're set to tip off shortly in Orlando. Then the Clippers are at the Mavs at 9:30. No Kawhi Leonard for LA tonight. Cleveland and Dallas are both ahead in the series 3-2. Also in the NBA today, the Lakers fired head coach Darvin Ham. LA went 90-74 in the past two seasons under Ham. Last year they lost in the conference finals, and this year they lost in the first round, losing to the Denver Nuggets both times. Pair of games in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. The Canucks are at the Predators at 7. Vancouver leads that series 3-2. Then the Stars are at the Golden Knights at 10. Dallas is ahead in that series 3-2. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Need heating, cooling, plumbing, or electric? Call a carpenter.
You know, Tyvis, just when I think we might get a break from college football news, there's always more stuff that happens. Yeah. Every day I look, and when I'm doing the Buckeye Show, hosting, or in there producing where Bodie is, I'm like, what are we even going to have for the College Football Pulse today? Nope, it was easy to find stories today. Bodes, tell us all about it.
Guys, we will start down in Athens, Georgia, with probably the best program in college football right now. I think that's fair to say. And Kirby Smart, he is now the highest paid head coach in the sport. He received a 10-year, $130 million contract extension. I don't know about you guys, but if the Fan came to me and said, hey, Bodie, here's 10 years, $130 million, I'd sign that pretty quickly. He becomes the highest paid head coach in college football with the new deal and becomes the first head coach to make $13 million a year. It's hard to argue with the results, man. He's 94-16 in 8 years at his former school there. That's where Kirby Smart went to school, is at Georgia. They finished in the top 7 of the final 8 people every year outside of his first season. They've made the college football playoff 3 times. All 3 of those years, they played for the national title. They won 2 of those, lost the other one, Alabama. They finished with the top 3 recruiting class every year under him, except once when they finished all the way down at number 4. They're just on a ridiculous run since he's gotten there, and it's a lot of money, but it's hard to argue with what he's done.
And with Saban leaving Alabama, they've got to be the unquestioned number 1 in the sport right now. Tyvis, you should have got into coaching instead of broadcasting.
Must be nice is all I say when I hear 130. This man don't even have to take a snap. His body won't be on the line. None of that. $130 million. Must be nice. That's all I can say. He definitely earned it, though. Back-to-back national championships. Dominant performance so bad that he questions why we even have both because this program is so good. Listen, he deserves every penny of it. As long as they continue to dominate and recruit like they do, because that's what this is all about. It's about being able to get the top recruits coming in, having the top class and developing them. They got that dog mentality. You know, it's the South.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. They dominate in the SEC. You got to keep a guy around like that. I don't. Unless something changes, I don't see them going away for a long time.
If our guy Noah Ruggles, though, would have made that kick as the ball dropped on New Year's, he'd have one less national championship.
Well, you know what they say about if.
Yeah. I don't know. But Georgia, yeah, I mean, this is in the world. I can't believe that we've ever gotten to a place where a coach is making $13 million
Coordinators
a year.
are making like $3 million now.
Yeah.
It's just absurd.
I mean, Chip Kelly, $2.2 million a year, and Jim Knowles, $2.1.
Ryan Day is at $6 million now?
I think Ryan Day's up to $10 million now. Yeah. I think they did an extension, and
if he pulled back-to-back national natties, he could probably do the same thing.
Oh, he'll get 15.
Yeah. Especially with the new AD, you know how he is. He might give him 20.
He'll give you $76 million not to coach.
Now that's a dream job right there. Like Coach O said, you can give me $20 million. Show me which door I'm walking out.
Next you want to go to what door you want me out of?
Next up here, guys. Everybody says bowl season is dying. Well, not the executive director of bowl season. He says, how about more bowl games? That's what the Nick Carparelli believes could happen after the college football playoff expands from 4 to 12 teams this fall and potentially 14 just 2 years later in 2026. Here was his quote to 24/7 Sports this week. When I speak with head football coaches and athletic directors and conference commissioners, it's very encouraging. I think it's more likely we add bowl games than subtract bowl games. There's currently 42 bowl games right now, and it sounds like we could have more on the way.
That's baloney. That is baloney. I mean, the only people that would really so that means you don't have to be over 500 or 500.
They've been taking 5 and 7 teams. A few of them in recent years.
That's the only way. But I don't think who actually watches these bowl games. Do you actually watch?
I guess if you're ESPN, who seems to own most of the bowl games, and whoever else, CBS Sports, throw them on there. It's probably better than just whatever generic programming they would be airing at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon in December.
But Bodie, if the teams is terrible, 5 and 7 or 4,
I don't disagree.
Why would I want to watch that for?
No, but it's still better than Sports Center at 2 o'clock or
no, it ain't.
Listen,
no, it's not.
They're drawing more numbers on that stuff than Sports Center or whatever else. I couldn't tell you last time I flipped on ESPN in the midday.
I'd rather watch NBA highlights.
Listen, Tyvis, Duke's Mayo, Idaho Potatoes, and Cheez-Its are spending a lot of money for these bowl games.
You've been watching them?
No, I have not. You know what's funny, though, is bowl games used to mean something. Bowl games used to matter. Coaches got bonuses in their contracts for making it to bowl games. And now with the CFB, the bowl games have just pretty much gone away. Nobody cares about them. We talked about it yesterday. They're talking about contracts for these players saying they have to play in bowl games to get guys to go play in them. They don't want to get rid of this bowl system because they love the high dollar treatment that they get. They love going into these hotels and, having these meetings and press conferences.
You go somewhere nice and warm most of the time for a week.
Giving the players a Rolex and
look,
headphones.
The bowl games, they mean a lot less than what they used to, obviously. But I also think they mean a lot more in a lot of other ways, too. And it's not really so much about getting a win to end your season. Now it's almost more so kind of spinning it towards next year because, with all these opt-outs and whatnot, a lot of times the younger guys get to play. Typically,
that's the only good part. I think
but it is a really good thing for the younger players. They wipe out the red shirt 4 games. Even if you played 4 games, the bowl game doesn't count for or against that. Or no, it doesn't count against that or for that, however you want to say it. It doesn't count. You can play the game, keep your red shirt.
And that's all great and all, but I think the reason that bowl games actually will get phased out even more is if these conferences, this is what made bowl games so good back in the day. You got to see good teams go against teams that is not in their division. So you got to see maybe an Alabama versus Ohio State. You got to see that matchup. But if you get those type of premier with these TV contracts, they need to demand that they get more in season of those games. Then the bowl games won't really mean that much to other schools because it's we got to see what we wanted to see in the regular season when it was meaningful, when everybody was playing. We wouldn't have to worry about opt-outs. But if players is going to keep opting out, it waters the game down. But I do agree with you that it is nice for a young guy to get those reps because it's on a big stage. It's against a pretty good opponent that they feel matches up with you really nicely. So from a development standpoint, I agree with you. But from a fan watching, I don't want to see that.
I agree. But that's where if they expand, that's where coaches and teams could be in favor because it's hey, we'll take 2 more weeks worth of practice and give our guys game reps that they otherwise just cannot get.
And you guys talk about the game reps with the younger players. I talk to high school coaches all the time that make deep runs into playoffs, and they say that's so important not only for the game experience, but the practice experience that younger guys get. So when they're juniors, they've made 2 long runs in the playoffs. Their juniors have the experience of seniors. And I'm sure that the bowl practice, getting those reps in practice also helps.
Yes, and it does. But it depends on how the player takes the practice. But like I say, now that with so many guys opting out or not playing, they're actually getting to play. And it's our fault. It's still Ohio. It's the Buckeyes of 2015 versus Notre Dame. It's our fault that the bowl system is what it is. If Jalen Smith never would have got hurt like he did, this would never have happened to bowl games. So after that, I feel that's when you started seeing all the opt-outs. But I feel Well, it was different for me because the starters took the majority of those reps because we were planning to play in the game.
I don't think these bowl games are ever going to go away. What I worry about, though, is they're going to use these bowl games as an excuse to further expand the college football playoff. And we're going to have a college football playoff that has 32, 64, something like that teams. And
that would be so
Cut it out.
Listen, that's what I'm scared of.
No, I agree with you.
I do not.
I mean, money talks, right?
Probably not 64, but I mean, they went to 12 and they're already planning on 14, and we haven't even played out the 12-teamer yet.
Which
I will say, though,
that really bothers me, too.
Oh, I 100% agree. They could have stayed at 4 for all I care.
Like 13 and 14 is going to be like, oh, shoot, we should have been in it.
We went 9-3 and didn't beat a ranked team, but we have got to get in there. I will say, going back to the bowl games, I mean, you could say it doesn't matter. And I know, like, when most of the time when people say it doesn't matter, we kind of are reflecting back to what it used to mean. But if Devin Brown lit up Missouri, I mean, I'm talking went out there 25 of 32 for, 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. Will Howard wouldn't be here right now. You guys would agree with that probably, right?
Yes.
And so that's now, unfortunately, got hurt. And then Keenholz just it was an ugly game to watch for the Ohio State offense. But, the games do matter. They just don't matter really from like a fan perspective, so to speak. You don't care about the wins and losses. It doesn't matter when Michigan State, knocks off Baylor because it's like, hey, the Big Ten, could they, is that better for the Big 12 or whatever? No, like that stuff doesn't matter, but it just matters in a different way. It matters for the coaches, the younger players to get the reps.
And that's a great point, Bodes. That Cotton Bowl kind of lit a fire under this Ohio State program and kind of changed and gave them the momentum that we've had here. It kind of changed their philosophy on NIL. We've got Chip Kelly here now. So you're right. It did matter in the fact that was an embarrassing night for Ohio State, and it made Ryan Day and the program change some things that they're doing heading into next year. Speaking of that Ohio State football team we will see in the fall, we went through the offense in the first hour of the show. We will go through the defense coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through October 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Sometimes you just need a little time for you, or better yet, you and a pizza, like a delicious Donato's cauliflower crust pizza, a golden, crispy crust loaded with your choice of toppings, or get any Donato's signature pizza on cauliflower crust, like chicken spinach mozzarella. Create your perfect cauliflower crust escape today and get $3 off any order of $15 or more using promo code PIZZA. Order now at Donatos.com. Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to Upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Mike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking Upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown.
Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at Upstart.com today. That's Upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned red coat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com /Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
This is the sound of a well-tuned air conditioner ready for summer. This is the sound of an air conditioner that was not tuned up by Apex Pros.
Excuse me, I represent the Don't Make Stuff Up on the Radio Association.
I'm kind of doing something here.
That sound of a not tuned up air conditioner?
Oh, you mean this?
You made that up.
Well, it's a dramatization. See, most air conditioner troubles can be prevented with a simple tune-up before summer by Apex Pros. The pros who knows.
And that.
The pros who knows.
You can't say sentences like that.
Look, it's just our cute way of saying
cute. That cute bear. Does a bear tune up my AC?
What? No, it's people. I mean, a person, a guy, maybe a gal.
Making stuff up.
An Apex tune-up helps your AC last longer, lowers your energy bills, and prevents this.
You did it again.
Man, you're a real hothead. Sit under this air conditioning.
What air conditioning? I don't hear any...
See? Schedule a tune-up at apexpros.com.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear. No doubt about it, Columbus loves Apex Pros. apexpros.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Get ready for a rainy forecast as we head into the weekend. Scattered showers and some storms as we head through the afternoon and evening hours tonight, with continued rain chances for Saturday. We'll fall down into the 60s as we head into the overnight tonight, with temperatures in the 70s for your Saturday. Rain becomes more widespread by late Saturday into Saturday night, continuing into the day on Sunday. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
The home of Big Ten championships and future first rounders. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Welcome back in, Buckeye Show, Friday edition. Tyvis Powell to my right, I'm Ryan Baker filling in for Timmy Hall. We will be back here together on Monday as well for some more Buckeye Show fun. Tyvis, our friends over at 11 Warriors, broke down the Ohio State football roster for this coming season, position by position, now that the transfer portal has closed. Again, Ohio State, only 80 scholarship players, so they could add 5 more players to the scholarship. We went through the offense position by position in the first hour. We're going to go through the defense now. Defensive ends, Tyvis, the Buckeyes pretty much set. They've got 8 scholarship players on the defensive line. Of course, Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau, the starters, no questions there. You've got Mitchell Melton. It looks like he's finally going to have a healthy season as a redshirt senior this year. Caden Curry, Kenyatta Jackson, they're going to be the guys that are backups. We've seen a lot of them, especially last year, even the year before a little bit. Then you've got Josh Mickens, Edric Houston, and Dominic Kirks there. So 8 really solid guys. I would think, Tyvis, though, if I had a chance, and I don't know what's left in the transfer portal, if I had a chance to add a young guy to maybe help this group going forward, because you know you're going to lose JT and Jack. Of course, you're going to have guys in next year's recruiting class as well for this position. We know Larry Johnson always does a good job. But if I think there was a guy with maybe 2 years of eligibility, 3 years left, I might look at that to give some depth to this group moving forward.
Yeah, because you want him for the veteran presence that he will bring. I think they'll be kind of comfortable having Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry. We've been hearing about those guys for the past couple of years. Obviously, they're in the rotation. I just think as a whole, that D-line needs to be a little bit more productive. It's like they do everything right, but the sack part is the only thing that they don't do right.
The sack numbers are down.
Yeah, they can get to the quarterback, they can get pressure, they can win their reps, but it's for some odd reason when it comes to like getting the sack, that is not there. And that's something that they just got to do better at. And I think that would increase everything. But I think they'll be fine once JT and Jack move on, because I'm comfortable with Caden and Kenyatta, but we're hearing so much about Edric Houston. Like, he will be the guy that will be one of those big-time game changers. Hopefully we'll get to see him this season, which I'm sure he'll probably get some spin out there, probably earlier on in the season, when we're going against those lower-tier teams. But I think that they'll be fine. I think Larry Johnson does a great job of grooming up guys, but this whole unit just needs to do better at sacks.
Yeah, and this line, this group should be productive. We saw the game that Jack Sawyer had in the Cotton Bowl.
Yes.
And then he seemed to roll that momentum into the spring. Mm-hmm. So maybe the sack number for Jack Sawyer, it seems like everything's really clicking for him now as he heads into his senior season. Maybe we'll see that go up a little bit. Maybe they'll add to that with some of the pressure from the athletic group of linebackers that we'll talk a little bit about here in a minute.
That definitely will help, but the secondary also can help as well, being a little bit more sticky, which they were really good last year. But I think if they make more plays on the ball, it'll make that opposing quarterback, if they know, like, these guys is ball hawks, like, it'll make them hold the ball. Like, I'd rather take the sack than throw a pick any day of the week. So if that's the case, then I think the sack numbers will go up. But that starts with the secondary, who I'm sure we'll talk about later.
You've got 8 scholarship players on the defensive tackle part as well. I'm really excited to see these D tackles this year with Ty Hamilton and Tyleik Williams. Tyleik Williams had a great year last year. Tywan Malone, Hero Canoe, we've heard a ton about this spring. Caden McDonald, Jason Moore, the redshirt freshman. It sounded like he was having a great spring. Then you got Will Smoot Jr. and Eric Mensah as well there. And we talked about earlier Derek Harmon, Michigan State guy that's still in the transfer portal, is a guy that Ohio State has been in touch with, at least. Maybe a guy they'll bring in here to add another piece to this defensive tackle. But the D-line as a whole is really deep, and it seems like deep with really good players.
Yeah, I think that it's a solid group. Obviously, Tyleik was the big standout last year. The year before it was Mike Hall. This last year, Tyleik was the one that made all of those TFLs, got in the backfield, very disruptive. You always want that guy to be a pass rushing guy. And I think that first you want him to stop the run, but I think that the question now that Mike Hall is gone, will we still get that pressure from up the middle? Which one of these guys are going to step up and be a pass rushing defensive tackle that can win consistently, split double teams, and get straight down the middle to help JT or Jack let a sack fall in their lap type thing. So that's where I'll be interested to see. But I'm confident in Tyleik and Ty Hamilton because those two guys have been productive for many years.
The linebacker position is a position that really doesn't need to be that deep because you only play 2 in Jim Knowles' defense, but it's still pretty deep. 8 scholarship players. Cody Simon, we know, redshirt senior coming back. He's the for sure penciled-in starter at that strong side. They call it middle linebacker, but it's more a strong side with just the 2 guys. Court Williams, another redshirt senior. Then you've got C.J. Hicks and Sonny Styles, the guys battling for that other starting linebacker spot. We know they're super athletic. Gabe Powers is a kid from Marysville that has been in the system 3 years now. He's a guy that really took some steps, it seems like, last year into this year. Arvell Reese is a dude that's super athletic. I loved him when I saw him play for Cleveland Glenville. I know there was some talk about moving him to defensive end. He's kind of done a little bit of both.
Arvell?
But
I wouldn't be shocked.
He's athletic enough to do that, but he's also still athletic enough to play the linebacker position. Then the 2 freshmen, Peyton Pierce and Garrett Stover. You've also got Joey Velasquez, who's walking on as a transfer from Michigan that was a pretty good special teams player for Michigan, at least the past couple years. So plenty of depth at this linebacker spot.
Yeah, I think that from what it was, for the past couple of years with Tommy and Steele, although they were really good, they were not as athletic as these guys are. That group is much more athletic, and I think that they can be much more effective when it comes to pass rushing. I think if those guys, you send any of those guys on blitzes, I think they'll win more times than not. So I'll be interested to see if Jim Knowles does go back to an aggressive style with the linebackers and sending them on blitzes, because I think they could be productive. C.J. Hicks, Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese. I remember watching Gabe Powers. Wow, I feel old. I watched him in high school a couple of years ago when we was calling games on a Friday night. So all of those guys are very athletic. I think that they can win more times than not, especially going up if a running back has to pick them up. I think that they'll win more times than not on that. So I would like to see him be more aggressive with those linebackers, sending those guys on blitz, especially on short yardage downs.
The cornerbacks, I love this. This might be my favorite position group on this whole team this year. Denzel Burke, he had a great year last year, I thought. Even got some interceptions for you. You love him taking the ball away.
Yes, I do.
He's a guy that I think will end up being a first-round pick next year. Davison Igbinosa and all these guys have talked about, he's the guy that changed the tone in the defensive backfield for everyone with his swagger. He's so physical. Jordan Hancock's so good as that nickel corner. Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Jermaine Matthews Jr. was the highest-rated cornerback on this team last year when he was in the game. As far as his ability, I love that dude. He's a dog. Calvin Simpson Hunt, everybody talks about him. And then the talented freshman Aaron Scott Jr., Bryce West, and then Miles Lockhart, the kid from Arizona, who it sounds like is going to be the guy that just slides right in and replaces Jordan Hancock in that nickel slot corner next year. I love this group.
Yeah, I think that they're deep. They're going to be good for years to come. I think BIA is back. Like I say, my only issue with them is the interceptions thing, and I think that comes if Jim Knowles becomes more aggressive and does send more blitzes, and that ball comes out a little hot and it might get tipped up or something like that. I think that these guys are. I think the focal point for that secondary has been interceptions, getting their hands on the ball. I mean, I've seen some drills where they're literally focused on trying to play the ball better. So hopefully we see that. I mean, if you take just off the spring game, they got 4 in the spring game, so you could tell that it's been at the top of their minds that they want to get more takeaways this year. They continue to do that. This would be the best secondary that's been at Ohio State for quite some time.
Then the safeties, super talented, but this is a spot where if they add someone in the transfer portal, it will probably be at safety because they're not super deep at the safety position, and we know they went through so many injuries last year at that position, and then injuries in the spring as well. You got to see some of the freshmen get in there and show their talents, but I don't know if you want freshmen out there on the field when it counts, having to rely on them. You got Lathan Ransom, Caleb Downs, Malik Hartford, and then Jaden Bonsu, Jalen McClain, and Leroy Roker. We talked about earlier, they've been in contact with 3 guys that are still in the portal from the safety position. You'd have to think Tyvis will probably add some depth here.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just because of the injury histories with Lathan. If they're healthy, they'll be fine, And on top of all of that, they still got that. They got that Joker card in their hand with Sonny Styles. Worst case scenario, Sonny could go back to safety and still get things done there. But I like the safeties that they have. Malik Hartford coming in there last year as a freshman, getting his feet wet and still making plays. I'm actually Jalen McClain had the pick 6 in the spring game, so it lets you know that he can play the ball really well and be that post safety. I don't know how they'll fit if they're more so in the box. I think that's when maybe if Caleb Downs did go down and they need another box safety, a physical guy, that's when you'll look to Sonny. But if it's in the post, I like Lathan, I like Malik, and I like Jalen McClain if that came down to it.
We also saw Inky Jones. He's a walk-on. He got an interception in the spring game as well. And then only 2 specialists, Tyvis, are on scholarship. I guess that's just the way that college football is now. Long snapper John Furlman and punter Nick McClarty, who probably isn't even going to be the starting punter, as Joe McGuire, it looks like the freshman walk-on from Australia, is probably going to be the punter this year for Ohio State. If they don't add anyone in the transfer portal, it does look like Jaden Fielden will probably get a scholarship, the place kicker. But again, with the specialists, they've got guys, Austin Snyder in there as well as a guy as a place kicker. They've got guys there. They've got depth. I don't think you're going to add anybody out of the transfer portal. They're specialists.
Nah, I think they'll be fine there. The biggest one will be the kicker, and I think that they'll be fine there. We do still got the one guy that's, what is he, 6'8" or something like that?
The punter, Joe McGuire.
Yeah.
The punter, yeah.
I would love to see him take them snaps and do the Tim Tebow, the jump pass. I think that would work.
It's Friday, so there's a lot of Buckeye things that we missed, and a lot of Buckeye things happening this weekend. We will tell you all about it with some Buckeye Bits coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter doesn't have a mullet, but he's knee-deep in mullet energy. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
Save big on fuel with M-Perks. Earn points on your Meijer purchases in-store and online. Then use your points to claim a fuel reward and save up to $1 off per gallon of gas at Meijer. Claim your M-Perks fuel rewards in the Meijer app and ID at the pump to save. Plus, earn points for qualifying Meijer Express purchases and look for exclusive Meijer Express offers. Download the Meijer app to sign up or see Meijer.com to learn more. 10 cents to $1 off per gallon based on points earned. Exclusions apply. Not valid in Wisconsin. Max 30 gallons.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
I'm Kelly Burris, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Hello, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletic Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donatos, Huntington, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in the great state of Ohio through our Buckeyes Care initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag Buckeyes Care.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways. Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit. Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy. Join in as little as 5 seconds. Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives. It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource. Proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The show that knows how to throw a big, giant Buckeye party. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
And there's no party better than a party on a Friday night as you wrap up the week. Ryan Baker in for Timmy Hall. Tyvis Powell to my right. Bodie Wells on the other side of the glass running things. It is the Buckeye Show here on 97.1 The Fan. A lot of things have been happening in the world of Buckeyes this week. There's a lot of things happening going on with the Buckeyes this weekend and even right now as well. The Ohio State baseball team, this is kind of hard to believe, Tyvis. They are playing at Illinois for the first time since 2018, starting tonight and through this weekend. Of course, all three games can be heard over on ESPN Columbus 1460 AM and 97.1 The Fan HD2. The Ohio State baseball team taking a little bit of strides. They had a tough year last year in Bill Mosiello's first year as the head coach coming up from TCU. They're 22-20 right now on the year. They are 7-8 in the Big Ten Conference so far. Right now over in Champaign, it's the bottom of the third. The Buckeyes and the Illini tied at 0.
Why is it their first time playing there?
I'm guessing COVID had something to do with that, and I think they don't do home and homes schedules in the Big Ten with every team. Sometimes they'll just go to, so maybe they just came here. I don't know how that all goes.
It's been 6 years.
2018.
That's ridiculous. Hopefully they win it, though. That'd be nice to go there for the first time in 6 years and get a dub. That's what you want.
And get that conference record. It'd be nice to get that conference record over 500 as you're sitting there at 7-8 right now. It's rivalry weekend, Tyvis, for the Ohio State softball team. They are up in Ann Arbor right now, and this weekend taking on Michigan. Right now in the top of the fifth, the Buckeyes trail the Wolverines 5-4. The softball team having a pretty good year. They're 29-18 with a 10-10 Big Ten record.
Well, I know that they're trying to, make it to the postseason, so they need to do a really good job of winning out, and I think they might need some help from other teams in the Big Tens, making them lose games and stuff like that. Because I love to see those girls go to the postseason. They've been really a sight to see for the past couple of years. I got to know a couple of them through NIL deals and stuff like that, and I know that they're really trying their hardest to go to that postseason this year.
Yeah, and they've got some talented players on this team with Emily Ruck, who she's pitched a couple no-hitters the past couple years. Allison Smith, I remember watching her, a Warren champion. She not only was a great pitcher, she was a heck of a left-handed hitting first baseman as well. Cammie Quartercracks from here locally in Columbus over at Hartley.
Yep.
She's a heck of a shortstop, and Mackenzie Bump from, I believe, Mount Gilead area. She's a great third baseman as well. So a talented Ohio State softball team. The Ohio State men's tennis team, Tyvis, they are the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. They beat Cleveland State today in the opening round 4-0. So they will play Oklahoma State tomorrow at 4. Oklahoma State beat Vanderbilt 4-1. This tennis team, man, they've been really good. We talked about it. They won their 16th Big Ten championship last weekend. They're 15th since 2000 when Ty Tucker took over. He's got this Buckeye tennis team humming. They're hoping to get that first national championship this year as the #1 overall seed.
That's interesting. It's always nice going somewhere knowing that you're going to dominate your conference and you're going to win like that. Being held to such a high standard. Oh, okay, what's that? Wait, was we winning 6-5?
Yeah, Ohio State just got 2 runs on the board in the softball game, so they are up 6-5 now. A 2-run home run for Ohio State there in the top of the 5th.
And back to tennis. And they better win it. Robert Cash made me look bad on Tyvis tries. So if he can make me look bad, then he can beat anybody.
Emily Ruck made you look bad too, right? I'm just saying.
That one is skewed because weather conditions.
I'd like to get her story on
she'll tell you it was cold for sure.
Former Buckeye turned Minnesota Timberwolf now, Mike Conley. He was named the NBA's Twyman Stokes Teammate of the Year. Conley receives the honor that recognizes the player deemed the best teammate based on selfless play, on and off the court leadership as a mentor and role model to other NBA players, and commitment and dedication to the team. Mike Conley, man, who would have guessed? He came in, riding shotgun with Greg Oden, that Thad 5 back in the 2006-2007 basketball season.
The glory days.
In his 17th NBA year. He's made almost $300 million.
Wow. Who is he, LeBron James?
It's pretty crazy, man.
That's wild that he's still going. And his team's doing really well. I mean, they might come out the West.
The Suns.
Yeah, they might come out the West as good as they play. It'd be nice to see him, get a ring. I don't think he's gotten a championship ring.
No, he has not.
Season,
and you know what? I would like to see the Cavs do well. I don't have an NBA team, but I'm rooting for the Timberwolves because I want Mike Conley to get that ring.
He's a good dude, man. He's such a good dude. He deserves to at least make it to the finals. I don't even think he's actually even appeared in the finals because he was with Memphis
and Utah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this could be the year for him, and I hope they do. They match up really well with a lot of teams.
3 former Ohio State women's basketball players have new homes as of this week. Emma Shoemate has announced she's going to Michigan State. Diana Collins is going to go to Alabama. And then Ricky Harris is off to Dayton. And, all of those, you wish them well. They were part of a couple good Ohio State women's teams here. But especially Ricky Harris. She was kind of a Swiss Army knife for Kevin McGuff the past couple years. Graduated all 4 years here, really, bided her time and never got the most playing time that she might have liked to. Hopefully she goes to Dayton and really has a solid year, gets a lot of playing time and helps the Flyers because she was a good soldier for this Ohio State women's basketball.
I think that learning under Coach McGuff has made her a better player, and I think that she'll go to Dayton and she'll dominate. She's finally getting her opportunity to be, a star and a key piece. And I think that when you get that moment, especially when you prepare, you work, and you grind, I think when you finally get that moment, you have to let your light shine, and I think she'll do that. Same with Emma when she goes to Michigan State. I thought, it was a couple of games where she came off the bench and she was a really good shooter. Like I say, shooting is a premium. If you got a good shooter, you want to hold on to him. So I'm pretty sure, she'll get her opportunity at Michigan State and she'll be a really good shooter.
I feel like Ohio State, or a lot of times when we talk about NIL and what it's doing in the college sports and everything that's changing, a lot of it comes across in a negative way, I think, especially from some of us who don't like change all the time. But this was pretty cool this week. Jeremiah Smith and his 2911 Foundation presented a $5,000 check to Chaminade Madonna College Preparatory, his high school. It was Jeremiah's way of giving back to his old school. And that was, pretty cool. A good story coming out of NIL. Jeremiah Smith, I don't think he's going to be hurting as he plays his college ball here at Ohio State at all. And it's cool to see him to be able to give back to the place where he came from.
Yeah, I mean, it lets you know that he doesn't big time people. He gives thanks to the people that helped him along his journey, and he's probably a big inspiration for kids that's there now. I don't know what his high school success rate is of kids going to college and making it to the pros, but it's nice. It's always nice to see somebody that you just played with or he just left and you just watched him in the weight room or you just practiced with this guy and you see how well he's doing in college already. It's nice to see him giving back and inspiring those kids to let them know, like, hey, I did it, you can do it too, type thing. So that's nice. That's a big kudos to Jeremiah Smith.
And then, unfortunately, Tyvis, we're going to end on one that's a little bit of sad. Today would have been Dwayne Haskins' 27th birthday. Of course, he passed back on April 9th, 2022 at the age of 24. Maybe the best quarterback season ever here at Ohio State from Dwayne Haskins. And unfortunately, early on in his career, it didn't work out with 2 different teams. And we're never going to get to know if it could have, because unfortunately his life was taken, it ended tragically too soon.
Yeah, it was. To think that he was that young and he was very talented. I mean, yeah, his season at Ohio State was 50 touchdowns, I think he threw. So it's unfortunate that he just died so young. And I liked where he was headed, and I liked to hear the stories about him getting back right. And it was just a shame that we really didn't get a chance to see it, and I'm bummed about that.
The social media world is always talking about the Buckeyes. We'll wrap up the week with some hashtag Buckeyes next. It's the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Extreme Limo is proud to be Central Ohio's first choice for luxury transportation. Serving our community since 2006, Extreme Limo has a full range of luxury cars, limos, and party buses for every occasion. And now offering you the new officially licensed Ohio State bus. You can travel in scarlet and gray style to your next game, wedding, or special event. Celebrate life and stretch the limit. Call Extreme Limo at 614-483-3300 to book today or visit extremelimo.com. That's XTREME limo.com.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Are you hangry for Buckeye baseball? Matt Andrews brings you every Big Ten game on our family of fan networks. 1460 AM, The Fan's HD2, and The Fan app. Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Good evening, this is your captain speaking. Our GPS flight tracker is on the fritz tonight, so we will be flying blind.
Here in Ohio, if you qualify for a medical cannabis card but still buy recreational cannabis, you're also flying blind, missing out on benefits and tax savings. Find your way to Veriheal.com to see if you pre-qualify for your medical cannabis card in less than 5 minutes. Veriheal. Veriheal.com.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. We save our customers tons of money and frustration by simply inspecting their sewer, water, and drain lines with our high-tech cameras before there's a problem. Check out Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric at carpentercolumbus.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Is foot pain keeping you from living life to its fullest? Life is too short to be dealing with foot, knee, or back pain. Come into the Good Feet store and learn how the Good Feet heart support system can help you get pain-free. Call 880-9255 or go to goodfeet.com to make an appointment.
A Fan Poll is sponsored by ER Auto Care, masters of our craft.
We ask dumb questions, you give dumb answers. Vote now at 971thefan.com. Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com today to get started.
You know, as you scour the social media world today and you look for stuff about the Buckeyes, it is a lot of basketball with the news that Sean Stewart was going to play at least next year in the scarlet and gray. But Tyvis, I was able to find one that I thought was a pretty good one for the football team. This one coming from Chad Stryker. He is quote tweeting a tweet from Bo Jackson. And the tweet says, priority running back target for hashtag Buckeyes narrows down his official visit schedule. Absolute stud of a running back in the class of 2025. And, of course, that is Bo Jackson, going to be playing his senior year this year for Cleveland, Villa Angela St. Joseph. He's the number 4 ranked player in the state, according to 24/7 Sports, the number 77 player nationally. He is the 3rd ranked running back nationally in this 2025 class. So, especially with the news that Marquise Davis was going to be going to Kentucky this week, who's the 2nd ranked running back in this class in the state of Ohio, be a good news for Ohio State if they could get him. His visits are going to be to Alabama, Georgia, I believe, and Ohio State.
Oh,
so,
the 3 big ones.
Yeah, so let's go Bo Jackson.
I like that. Bo Jackson. You think his parents named him after the Bo Jackson?
I mean, it has to be, right? I don't think that's coincidence, is it?
And he plays running back. Does he wear number 34 by chance?
No, he does not. I can't remember.
He had to draw
missed opportunity.
He had to draw the line somewhere.
I think he wears number 2 or 15, possibly, if I remember correctly.
Did Bo wear that in college?
No, I think Bo was always 34.
Okay. Well, on my hashtag, we got a little Buckeye on Buckeye crime tonight.
Uh-oh, here we go.
WNBA preseason basketball tonight. Indiana Fever take on the Dallas Wings. Not Caitlin Clark. She's Iowa. Kelsey
She'll
Mitchell.
be in the game,
She
though.
will be in the game. Kelsey Mitchell versus J.C. Sheldon tonight, 8 o'clock.
J.C. Sheldon and Caitlin Clark's WNBA debuts against each other. How about that?
I wonder how that will go. Kelsey's probably Kelsey seems like the type of girl that would know that J.C. is a Buckeye, and if they check each other, she would just go right at her.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think that, yeah. Don't you got to welcome them to the league?
Will they put JC on Caitlin Clark like we've seen quite a few times the past couple of years?
Yeah. But at some point, it's going to be a switch.
Did you see McAfee wearing the Caitlin Clark Fever jersey on the McAfee show today?
They sold out for months, aren't they?
He got one. He was wearing it today.
That's funny.
I wonder if he'll be at the game.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, he's close by.
Yeah,
so.
Indianapolis. I mean, where do they play? Where do Indiana? Where they?
They play where the Pacers play. What is it? The Conseco Field House, or that's what it used to be. I don't know.
He'll be there then. Why wouldn't he be?
Yeah,
Everybody that's in Indiana is going to be there.
Caitlin Clark mania still ruling the world.
And she probably going to play like 10 minutes.
Tyvis, I was going to ask you here in the final minutes of the show if you had any big plans for the weekend, what you were doing, but I already know what you're going to be doing. You're going to be here tomorrow from noon to 3 for Fan Sports Saturday, and then you're going to be here on Sunday
from 11
to 2 for Fan Sports Sunday. So I'll be here.
I'll be here Monday from 6 to 8 with you.
That'll be us again.
And then I'll be here Tuesday,
6
to 8 again.
That will not be with me. That will be with Tito. So you'll be with Tito on Sunday. And Tuesday, you'll be with Reese tomorrow. I am not here with you guys tomorrow. I will be with you and Tito, though, on Sunday. I just show up when they tell me to, and if they tell me not to, I don't ask why.
What about you, Bodie? You taking the day off tomorrow?
No, I'll be here to degree.
What about Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday's the day of the Lord. I don't work on Sundays, Tyvis.
Notre Dame doesn't play on Sunday, Tyvis.
I used to. Not anymore.
I hear you.
Just some updates here for you. Bottom of the 4th now over in Champaign. Ohio State and Illinois still tied, but it's 1-1 now. Both teams have put a run on the board. And Ohio State and Michigan playing in softball up in Ann Arbor tonight. OSU, last we told you they'd hit that 2-run home run. Sam Hackenbracht had done that. It was 6-4. It is now 6-5 in the bottom of the 5th. So let's go Buckeye baseball team. Let's go Buckeye softball team.
Let's go Cavs and let's go Guards.
Cavs 38-34. They are down right now. Guardians 0-0 in the top of the 3rd. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight and spending part of your Friday with us. Have a great weekend. This has been the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Oh no, this storm really did a number on my roof.
You need to get that fixed before it gets worse.
I know, but finding a good roofing company is like finding a needle in a haystack.
Actually, there's only one good roofing company you need to know. Nitro Roofing. Family owned, specializing in residential roofing, and they finish the job quickly without cutting corners.
Wow, sounds like they're the real deal.
Absolutely. Call Nitro Roofing today. Use code TheFan10 for 10% off. Call 614-714-5693 or visit nitroroofing.com.
Safe Auto Insurance is now Direct Auto Insurance. What's the difference? Basically, the name. Direct Auto offers savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, just like you're used to, which means you never have to make trade-offs when it comes to paying for car insurance. So don't even think about carpooling to work with Talkative Ted. It's time to stop compromising and keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com or call 1-877-GO-DIRECT. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways. Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit. Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy. Join in as little as 5 seconds. Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives. It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is a part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is safe and clean for the players every game at the Schottenstein Center. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com. Libman, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Did the pandemic eliminate quality customer service? Well, many places it did, but not here at Heartland Bank. Imagine getting top quality service and good advice as well to help you down life's road. It's community banking, and it's alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Fair banking feels good.